Ethan looked at the stars outside the window of his small spacecraft. The galaxy stretched endlessly before him, but tonight he felt restless. He had flown between human colonies and alien worlds many times. But the thought of the upcoming family meeting made his chest tight. His parents were insistent. They wanted him to marry someone human, a decision they believed would protect their family's traditions. But Ethan had never met anyone who truly felt like a partner. Someone who could understand him beyond words or titles. He shook his head, trying to focus. "I just need one peaceful mission," he whispered to himself. "Then I'll deal with the family." His communicator beeped, interrupting his thoughts. "Ethan, we have an urgent situation at the Zarathus diplomatic hub," said a voice. It was Commander Jera, his superior. "An alien delegation is arriving, and there are security concerns. We need you there immediately." Ethan's heart skipped. The Zarathus were known for their intelligence and elegance, their customs strict but honorable. He had met them before, but always from a distance. Now he would face them directly? He adjusted his uniform, feeling a mixture of excitement and anxiety. The docking bay of the Zarathus hub was alive with movement. Aliens of different shapes and sizes moved gracefully, speaking in their melodic language. Ethan felt slightly out of place. The human way of rushing and speaking loudly, contrasting with their calm and precise movements. He was guided to a central hall, where representatives from several alien species gathered. Among them was Lyra. Ethan froze the moment he saw her. She was taller than most humans, with smooth silvery skin that shimmered under the lights. Her eyes were a bright violet, reflecting intelligence and curiosity. But it wasn't just her appearance that caught him, it was the confidence in her stance, the way she scanned the room. Noticing details everyone else missed, Lyra turned her gaze toward Ethan. There was a spark of recognition, perhaps curiosity. She approached him with a slight, polite smile. "You are Ethan, the human pilot?" she asked, her voice soft but commanding. "Yes," Ethan replied, feeling suddenly nervous. "And you are?" "I am Lyra of Zarathus. I've heard about your people. They say humans are brave, and sometimes stubborn." She laughed softly. "My family warned me about interacting too closely with humans, but I see you are not like the others." Ethan smiled awkwardly. "I hope that's a good thing." Lyra tilted her head. "It is, but tell me, human, do you always follow the rules set by your family?" Ethan hesitated. He had always been taught to respect his family's wishes, but he also wanted to live his own life. I try to," he said slowly, "but sometimes I wonder if the rules are always right." Lyra's eyes softened. "Good. Then we may understand each other better than I expected." Before they could speak further, the hall trembled. Alarms blared as the outer gates of the hub were attacked. Rogue mercenaries, human and alien, had found a way to breach security. Panic spread quickly among the delegates. Ethan didn't hesitate. He grabbed his emergency weapon and ran toward the source of the attack. Lyra followed, moving with an elegance and speed that surprised him. They worked together instinctively, Ethan, protecting the crowd. Lyra using her abilities to shield and redirect. At one point, Ethan found himself cornered by two mercenaries. He thought quickly and rolled to the side, narrowly avoiding a strike. Lyra appeared beside him, her hands glowing with energy that stunned their attackers. "Stay close," she instructed, and he obeyed. When the danger was over, the hall was quiet. Delegates and citizens were shaken but unharmed, thanks to Ethan and Lyra's teamwork. They looked at each other, breathing heavily. "You are braver than your family claims," Lyra said with a smile. "Humans have courage. I can see it now." Ethan felt his face heat. "I didn't do it for recognition. I just wanted to help," Lyra nodded. "And yet you helped more than anyone else could." "That is why I sought you," Ethan frowned, unsure of her meaning. Lyra stepped closer. "My people have a tradition of choosing partners based on respect, courage, and trust, not just family approval. Humans seem bound by your rules. But you, Ethan, you showed a choice. That is rare." Ethan swallowed. "Are you saying?" You want me to? I am saying we may be bound to each other by more than duty, Lyra said, her voice gentle. If you are willing to accept, you may join me in an alliance, even a partnership, one of respect, trust, and if you allow it, love. Ethan's mind raced. He had always expected his family to dictate his life, but here was an alien woman offering him a choice. The idea both thrilled and terrified him. He thought of his parents' expectations, the traditions he had been raised to follow, and yet he couldn't deny the pull he felt toward Larad, the way she had faced danger, the way she saw him as more than a human pilot. I need to think, he said honestly. Lyra nodded, understanding. Take the time you need. But no, your family may want you to marry a human, but your heart may choose differently. That is the true test of courage. Over the next few days, Ethan spent time learning about Lyra's world. She showed him the customs of Zarathus, their festivals, their rituals of respect and honor. He was fascinated by their harmony with technology, their deep connection to knowledge, and the way their society valued choice over obligation. At the same time, his family sent messages reminding him of human expectations. Ethan, you must consider your duty, his mother wrote. A marriage to a human woman will honor our family and our traditions. Ethan read the message, then looked at the stars outside his window. He felt torn between two worlds, two expectations. But every time he thought of Lyra, her courage, her intelligence, her quiet insistence that he think for himself, he felt a warmth he had never known. One evening, during a quiet walk along the hub's observation deck, Lyra turned to him. Have you decided, human? She asked softly, looking up at the distant stars. Ethan hesitated, then shook his head. I don't know. I want to respect my family. But I also don't want to ignore what I feel. How can I choose? Lyra smiled, reaching out a hand. By being honest with yourself. Courage is not just in battle, is in living truthfully. If you follow your heart, you will never regret it. That is the way of both our worlds. Ethan looked at her hand, then into her eyes. He felt the weight of tradition, the pressure of expectations, and the undeniable pull of his own heart. Slowly, he reached for her hand. It was the first decision he had made solely for himself, and it felt right. I want to try, he said quietly. I want to see where this partnership can go. Lyra's eyes lit up with a soft glow of approval. Then we begin together, Ethan. Not as duty-bound humans or aliens, but as two beings choosing each other. At that moment, the hub's communication system buzzed urgently. A new message appeared. A distant colony under threat. Innocent lives in danger. Ethan felt a familiar surge of responsibility and courage. We should go, he said, determination in his voice. Lyra nodded. Together, she said. And together, they prepared for their first mission, not just as allies, but as partners who had chosen each other against all expectations as they launched into the stars. Ethan thought of his family and the human traditions he had been raised to follow. He knew their approval was important, but he also knew something greater had begun, something that could change the lives of humans and aliens alike. The stars stretched endlessly before them. But for the first time, Ethan felt certain of his path. He was choosing his own destiny, and it began with Lyra. And so, the story of a human and an alien woman, bound by courage, respect, and choice, truly began. The stars blurred outside the cockpit as Ethan and Lyra piloted their ship toward the distant colony under attack. Both were silent for a while, each lost in thought. Ethan's mind wandered to his family and the expectations they had placed on him. He wondered if they would ever understand his choice, but he pushed the thought aside. Right now, the lives of innocent people depended on them. Lyra broke the silence. We need to act quickly, she said, her voice calm but urgent. The attackers are not only after resources, they want to destabilize the colony. If we delay, many could be hurt. Ethan nodded. I understand. Let's plan our approach carefully. They studied the colony's layout on the holographic display. Buildings clustered together, with small defense units stationed at key points. Ethan noticed the mercenaries had cut off the main power supply, leaving the colony vulnerable. "If we restore the power first, we can buy the residents some time," he said. Lyra's eyes glowed faintly. "Greed. I can create a temporary energy shield around the main station while you guide the repair team." The ship descended toward the colony, and as they landed, the chaotic sounds of alarms and frightened citizens filled the air. Ethan grabbed his toolkit and weapons, while Lyra activated her energy shields, projecting a protective field around the area. Together, they led a small team of humans and aliens toward the central power hub. The hub was under attack by mercenaries who had set automated traps. Ethan's experience as a pilot and engineer proved invaluable. He carefully disabled each trap, while Lyra used her agility and energy manipulation to protect the team. Their coordination was flawless, each anticipating the other's actions. During the mission, Ethan noticed Lyra's focus and determination. She moved with precision and confidence, inspiring everyone around her. He realized that courage and leadership were not limited to any species. They were qualities that transcended worlds. After hours of intense work, they managed to restore the colony's power. Lights flickered on, alarms quieted, and residents began to emerge from hiding. The mercenaries, realizing they had lost the advantage, retreated into the night. The colony's leader, an older human woman named Commander Hale, approached Ethan and Lyra. "I've never seen such bravery and teamwork," she said, bowing slightly. "You've saved countless lives. Humans and aliens working together. This is remarkable." Ethan smiled modestly. "We only did what we had to do," Lyra added. "We were not alone. The people here helped each other, and that is what made the difference." The grateful citizens offered food, water, and supplies to Ethan and Lyra, but the couple declined politely. They knew there were other colonies and missions waiting, and they had promised to act whenever needed. That night, Ethan and Lyra stood outside, watching the stars. Ethan felt a sense of peace he had never experienced before. The galaxy was vast and unpredictable, yet here with Lyra, he felt he had found a purpose beyond duty or family expectations. "I never imagined life could be like this," Ethan said quietly. "I used to think following my family's wishes was the only way. But now I see there's more to living," Lyra smiled. "Life is about choices, Ethan. Courage is not just in battle, it is in making decisions that honor your heart. You chose to act, to protect, and to trust. That is why you are worthy of more than duty alone." Ethan took her hand. "Lyra, I want to continue this journey with you. Not just as a partner in missions, but as someone I care for deeply." Her eyes softened. "And I feel the same, Ethan. Let us face the future together, not bound by expectations, but by trust and respect." In the following weeks, Ethan returned to his family to inform them of his choice. He expected resistance, arguments, and perhaps disappointment. But when he explained his connection with Lyra, the bravery she displayed during the colony mission, and their mutual respect, his family listened. At first, there were questions. "She is not human," his father said. "How can you be sure she understands our ways?" Ethan replied firmly, "It is not about understanding everything. It is about respect, courage, and trust. Lyra showed these qualities when lives were at stake. She chooses to act with honor, just as we do. That is what matters." His mother sighed, then smiled. "Perhaps we judge too quickly. If you truly believe in her, Ethan, we will support you." Even some of the family members who were skeptical began to see Lyra's qualities. Her intelligence, compassion, and bravery earned their respect. Slowly, the walls of tradition gave way to admiration and hope. Meanwhile, Lyra's people were also observing. Some had doubts about a human marrying a Zarathus citizen. But when they saw Ethan's actions during the colony rescue, their skepticism faded. Leaders and elders acknowledged his courage, his ability to make choices, and his respect for life. They realized that love and bravery were universal values. Preparations for the marriage began, incorporating both human and Zarathus traditions. Ethan learned about Lyra's cultural rituals, including ceremonial gestures of trust, respect, and commitment. Lyra, in turn, adapted to human customs, appreciating the symbolism and emotional significance behind them. During the ceremony, Ethan and Lyra stood before both families and communities. The human side was nervous, glancing at the alien customs with curiosity. The Zarathus observed, waiting for a sign of respect and honor. Ethan took Lyra's hands in his. "I promise to respect, protect, and trust you," he said sincerely. "I may be human, but my heart chooses you above all else. Together, we will face the galaxy, side by side." Lyra's eyes glowed softly as she replied, "And I promise the same, Ethan. Our bond is not only of love, but of courage, trust, and partnership. Together, we will create a future that honors both our worlds." The officiant, a respected elder from Zarathus, nodded. "Then by the traditions of both humans and Zarathus, you are now bound together. May your partnership inspire others to see beyond differences and embrace courage, respect, and choice." As Ethan and Lyra exchanged ring symbols of unity between two species, the crowd erupted in applause. Humans and aliens alike celebrated the union, seeing it as a new chapter for interstellar cooperation. After the ceremony, Ethan's parents approached him. "We were worried at first," his mother said. "But seeing your bravery and the respect Lyra has shown, we understand your choice. You have taught us that love and courage matter more than tradition alone." His father nodded. "You've made your own path, Ethan. We are proud of you." Lyra's family approached as well, smiling. "We see now that courage and honor are not limited by species. You have earned our respect, Ethan. Welcome to our world as a partner and friend." That evening, Ethan and Lyra stood together on the observation deck, looking at the stars. The galaxy stretched endlessly before them, full of possibilities. Ethan felt a sense of fulfillment he had never known. He had chosen his own path, honored his values, found someone who understood him completely. Lyra rested her hand on his shoulder. "This is only the beginning, Ethan. The galaxy is vast, and there are many adventures ahead. But as long as we face them together, we will succeed." Ethan smiled. "Together," he repeated. And for the first time, he truly believed it, as the stars shimmered above. Human and alien tradition and courage, choice and destiny all seemed to align. The union of Ethan and Lyra was more than marriage. It was a symbol of hope, understanding, and the power of choosing one's own path. And so, the human who once felt trapped by expectations found freedom in his heart. The alien woman who valued courage and trust found a partner worthy of her respect. Together, they stepped into a future where love, bravery, and choice bridged worlds. It's inspiring others to see that differences could create strength rather than fear. The galaxy was vast. The challenges many, but Ethan and Lyra were ready. Side by side, they would face whatever came next, not as human and alien, but as equals, partners, and pioneers of a new era. And as their ship lifted into the stars once more, heading toward new missions, they knew one thing for certain: the bond they shared was unbreakable. And their journey together had only just begun.